Great stuff. Good morning, everybody. August 18, 2025 here at the Loan Officer Breakfast Club.
Wow.
Brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals.
Yeah.
Every Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Why? For your free coaching pleasure. I mean, come on. Why not? I mean, who wouldn't do that? I don't know. Yeah. Steve Kyles, how are you, man? Good to see you.
Yeah, and we got a brand new addition to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club family over the weekend. I can't wait to see her in a onesie or what? Frankie May. Hooray. I'm telling
That's
you.
right.
Jen, let's get him a onesie for the Breakfast Club. Let's make sure that they have one.
That would be cool. Breakfast Club onesies.
Yes.
We probably have them, huh? Oh, probably do that.
We definitely have like Mortgage Marketing Animals or Freedom Club ones. I don't know if we have Breakfast Club ones.
Oh, well, we need a Breakfast Club onesie.
We do.
For sure.
Congratulations, Papa. Hey,
Well,
what
thank you.
What do your grandbabies call you?
Popo.
Papo. Well, congratulations, Papo.
Yeah, I'm Popo. Brenda's Nana. Nana and Popo. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were
yeah,
saying this is number 10, right?
this is number 10. Yeah. And we've got 11.
Anybody else have 10 grandbabies? Come on, drop in the
Yeah.
chat.
Put the number of grandbabies
How
you
many
got.
grandbabies you have? All right, Kevin said he's got 5.
20.
Well, Frank, we were talking about how many loans you're going to have to close just for Christmas.
I know, just for Christmas. It's like, 2 or 3 extra loans just for Christmas. Oh, look at that. Wow. People got some grant. 10. There's a 10. There's an 8. There's an 8.
Valerie's
Wow.
got 1. All right. Let's see
Yeah.
here.
2 and 1 on the way. Yeah.
Nice.
Kevin,
Yeah.
11?
Yeah. There was a
Wow.
20 at the very top. I forget who it was.
It was Vicky
Marco
Porter.
said 5? No way.
Yeah. Marco is 5. Wow.
Wow.
That is an interesting thing to learn about people, how many grandchildren that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people here that, they're probably not at that age in life where they could even have grandchildren. So,
Yeah.
it's interesting. But there's a lot who clearly are.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So Frankie Megaray, she was 8 pounds, 6 ounces, bright red hair, light eyes. We're not quite sure what the color of the eyes are going to be yet, but and the red hair is a family trait on my side. So
Wow.
yeah. So that was kind of neat to see that come through because we've had nothing but black and brown haired babies for the whole time. You know what I mean? So yeah. So it's kind of neat to see the red hair pop through. So that's cool. But I appreciate everybody reaching out, saying congrats and all that stuff. It's very kind of you. Yeah. But they're home. They're safe and sound. Today's going to be a little bit of a juggle. There's some doctor appointments, so I've got to help, with the other kids. And so there's going to be a lot of that for the next couple of months. And
Papo
absolutely
to the rescue, man.
Papo
That's
to
what
the
you're there
rescue.
for, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, well, let's get this show started, man. Today, Steve, I'm going to share something that's in the news. Of course, guys, I do the news every day.
Hey, by the way, if you
Yeah.
guys are not checking it out, Frank, I was this last week looking at it. It is so rich, full of great content.
Yeah.
And it's really a great glancer. That way you can just grab what's applicable for this week. So make sure that if you're not getting it, you get it. But also drop in the chat, Jen, where they go. It's at Loan Officer Breakfast Club in the news, right?
Yeah, I've got the link to today's story specifically,
good.
so I'll go ahead and drop that right now. I've got it there. So the link's in, Jen, don't worry. And I'll continue to drop that in a couple of times. Kristen. Okay, so anyway, let me share this. There's something interesting in the news today. A couple things. There's always interesting things in the news, but or at least I try to put the interesting things in there, right? Not the boring stuff.
You do a great job, Frank.
Oh, thanks, Carl. Appreciate it. Hi, good morning. How are you,
My
sir?
brother. But you know what? Everybody's. Well, I got. I'll go ahead. Finish this. I got something real quick for you.
Okay, cool. So today there's like contradicting stories, 2 of them together, right?
No.
2. So there's 4 stories and 2 contradict each other and 2 contradict each other a little bit. So number 1 is Zillow Research points out that there's like a gazillion, there's 550 U.S. cities right now where you can get a quote unquote mansion for under $1 million. And they're describing a mansion as a 5,000 square foot place.
Wow.
So there's 550 cities where you can get a 5,000 square foot mansion for under $1 million. Many of them are in the hundreds of thousands, right? 500,000, that kind of a thing. There's a link to the Zillow story here, but I just found that to be interesting.
Yeah.
Right. And that's going to counteract another story that we've got coming up. But we've got a couple of counteracting stories here. So we've got a Fed president, Goolsbee, he's kind of poo-pooing the idea of a rate cut in September. He's saying we need to wait. So he's a dissenter on, that. But, of course, the Republicans aren't going to take that. So here we go. Now there's a new bill introduced called the Too Late Act, where the president can fire the Fed chair. So we'll have none of that, mister. Okay, so you've got that going on. So one guy saying no, well, probably more than one guy, but and now there's a bill that they're trying to get passed, or Republicans have started to, give the president authority to fire the Fed chair, if he feels he's not doing a good job.
Whoever flies an Air Force One is in charge. That's all I'm going to say. That's if you're sitting in that thing, you pretty much call the shot. Whoever he or she is,
yeah,
you're going to be calling the shots.
It's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got $1 million homes in 550 cities, or mansions under $1 million in 550 cities around the country. And then you've got Gen Z, 2/3 of Gen Z saying they don't think they'll ever own a home.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? 66% of them.
66%. Wow.
Yeah. Think that they'll never be able to afford a home or buy a home. Not true, man. Not true. If you just read the Zillow story, you can go hunting around. Just, hey, man, if you want to, pull up the stakes and roll up the tent and move somewhere, there's opportunity all over the place. So I just thought that was interesting. So kind of a fun thing you can do, guys, for you as loan officers. What you can do is, like, there's a real estate agent perspective. So you could copy this, right? Paste that as the text in your Facebook post, and then put the link to the story underneath it. And this could be your little blurb for realtors to read, because it encourages real estate agents to go, hey, man, this is some good information that you can get out there, right? Also, same thing with buyers and sellers. So you can just copy this, paste it with the link to the news story, put it in your social media, just get some conversations going. They're good conversation points, right? I think they are. I think the Zillow story and the Gen Z story are good conversations for today. Of course, my thoughts, etc. And of course, along the right-hand side, you've got all of the wonderful podcasts that, not all of them, but most of them that we do. And so you've got access to all of that there. We'll put the link into the chat, of course, as I stated. But I find it kind of interesting that there are mansions available, right? Mansions available under $1 million in 550
Dude,
cities.
I was up around Dayton, Ohio here, I don't know, about a couple months ago, riding around. Beautiful area up there. And we saw these, like, what I would consider pretty good size house, well under $1 million. So I think.
Yeah, where was that area?
What's that?
What area was that?
Like Dayton, Ohio, like around Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're on the list. They're on the list.
It's a beautiful area,
It is.
I think we get used to, like, you live around Sacramento, and Steve, you live in the Houston area, and I'm in the Tampa Bay area,
right?
And Chris, and you're in the Philadelphia area, and we're used to these kind of what I would, just more, not better, just more expensive places to live. And boy, you get in the middle of America, it's pretty cheap,
Yeah, they were even saying in the Zillow article, even California and New York, because of the pricing and things that are going down, then people are lowering prices. That there's values out there now where they weren't there before. So,
but what everybody's really wanting to know?
What
is, how do you win at rock, paper, scissors?
Every time.
How do you win?
You need to ask my little girl, because she's a shark.
Well, so I'm going to give you. So there was actually a championship held here locally that I went to, and out of 136, I placed third.
No way.
And are you serious? Are you telling stories?
No. And so I'm going to tell you the 3 rules.
There's a pattern.
There is.
Well, I tell you, Ellie wins every time, and I'm like, girl, and I've started watching her. She does a pattern. So
there's pattern. So so first of all, but you can't tell people here in the Tampa Bay area, okay? You can't.
I'm not running to Tampa.
If you're in the Tampa Bay area, you need to log off right now. So you can't post this on you can't post this on Facebook. So this is my little secret. So 3 things. There's only 3 rules you got to remember. So number 1 is if you play against a computer, it's completely 100% a third. There's no secret one. But when you're not playing a computer and you're playing against humans have 3 patterns they complete, especially the rookies, over and over and over. Okay. So number 1, huge amount starts off with rock. Like anytime you're playing with rookies, they almost always start off with rock because it's easy. They don't have to think. It's strong, and they pitch with a pounding. They don't want to go something wimpy like paper, you know. So you're opening, like if you're doing like a rookie, like a non-championship type stuff, always come out with paper. Always come out with paper because a huge percent of the time they're going to do rock. Now, once you get past that one, there's only 2 rules. So number 1, what's the first one you do? Paper. Yeah. Paper. Yep. Almost always. So the second one is there's 2 more rules. Number 1, when you're playing against somebody, they'll almost always, if they lose, they'll switch to something else the next time. And so you just eliminated one of the 3 that they're doing. So now you're playing with a 66% odd that you're going to win. And so if they lose, they're going to switch.
All right.
Rule number 3, if they win, they're going to do the same thing again. They'll repeat after a win. So they'll switch after a loss, repeat after a win. But hey, Steve.
What?
You can't use this against Ellie though, man. She's got a special place in my heart, so you can't. You got to forget when you're playing against her.
Uncle Carl told me how to.
Totally
you can't
gonna
tell.
try
You
it.
can't. You can't.
He's totally going to try it. Yeah.
So
I'm tired of losing.
So 3 rules. 3 rules. Go paper first. Your opponent will switch after a loss.
Wow.
And they'll repeat after a win.
There
You remember those 3 things, you'll win like 60% of the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, I know
Carl,
everybody was just
do you
dying
show
to
up
hear
with the moist towel around your neck and the headband and the wristband?
He has the head fan,
I do wear the
band.
glasses.
the mirror glasses. Yeah,
I do.
so
I wear the glasses. I don't want to see
tell.
my glasses.
Wonderful.
And you can't smile,
awesome.
man. You can't smile.
Cannot.
So, yeah.
What did the winner get?
Either that, a little trophy. Either that, or you pretend to be a rookie and know that they're going to do paper. So if you're playing against somebody that knows what they're doing, come out with scissors. Come out with scissors every time. But if you're playing against a rookie, that's the bet. Is this a rookie? Paper. Is it a season's pro? Scissors.
Scissors.
Yeah, because somebody knows what they're doing is always going to come out with paper when they're playing against a rookie. So you have to come out with scissors. So anyway, I know I was just dying to hear that. And Kevin, you can add that into your strategies into the Leadership Academy. So
Wow.
Well, there you go.
Give me a referral
Perfect.
partner strategy. If I can beat you in rock, paper, scissors, I get your next referral.
that's it. That's it.
Oh, that's
it.
a good one. The challenge.
That's
Right. That is.
Marty said,
a
I
good
saw
one.
Steve writing this down.
In rule number 4, every alcoholic knows these 3 rules because they do it at the bar all the time for drinks, right? So if you had a bar and somebody wants to do rock, paper, scissors, they're going to come out with paper first. Come out with scissors.
All right. All right.
So anyway.
You know what I saw kids doing, speaking of rock, paper, scissors, is now they're doing it with 2 hands. So you could do like, you got to have a good brain to, be able to do 2 different things. So you're competing with 2 hands. The 2 of them are doing.
See, well, wait. So is it my right against your, like, as we're facing other?
Like my right against your left against my right.
So I couldn't remember my 3 rules fast enough. I would.
Yeah,
You have to do it quick. You have to this switch after loss, repeat after win. You have to do it real, like super. You have to remember the algorithm, So
Wow.
but they do it fast, So
And I think with the 2-handed one, it's like you've got to win both to be a win. Otherwise, it's a tie.
So your brush with greatness is you now officially know the 3rd place rock, paper, scissors of Tampa Bay. I'm just saying, just going out there.
Wonderful.
We're done.
We're
Like,
going to give you victory fanfare, Carl, and a big cheer.
I live at the house.
You are the 3rd place winner.
So,
rock, paper, scissors in Tampa Bay.
Anyway,
Yeah,
That
I
is
have to know,
a-
was there a prize involved here?
Yeah, a trophy, he
Or a
said.
T-shirt? Or,
trophies, trophies.
Oh,
Was
okay,
it televised locally?
Yeah, just local. It's just a little local thing. Yeah.
If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. All right. Let's get down to business.
You can't play it on the web. Well, I guess you could. I guess you could.
I don't know. Yeah.
I guess you
All
could.
right, Carl, let's go. Let's go.
All right.
You can do it on Zoom. All right.
Got you.
Anyway, what are we doing, Frank?
All right. Well, we got Steve here. Steve, you've
Yeah.
got a master class coming
Yeah,
up.
for sure.
And it's the 20th, which is
Yep.
just a couple days from now. You're going to be
Yeah.
talking about rate shoppers and that kind of thing. I was hoping we could just hear from you today and maybe give us some insights, some pointers, that kind of a thing. And then, of course, we'd like to know more about what you're doing on the 20th. So, yeah, let us have it, man.
Hey, and
What's on the
I
agenda?
wonder in the chat, how many of you are still, you've lost a deal maybe to a rate shopper, or here's another thing, Frank. How many of you have been working with a client and then all of a sudden we get close to a contract and you get ghosted and you're like, well, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what just happened. I thought everything was going according to plan. Um, and that's really what, the whole point of Wednesday's masterclass. And we've got great content that we've developed on the backside of for our members in what we call the 5 steps of sales fulfillment. But have you ever spent time with a client? Whether it's you work with them on a night, a weekend, during, you've crunched all the numbers, you went through all the documents, you put it all together, and then all of a sudden you get a contract and they say, hey, I'm going to have to shop around. You understand? Everybody say it, right? And
Right.
it's like,
Right.
no, you don't know what we did. Hey, and here's the truth. What happens is we get into such a process of doing it our own way. Like we'll run loan options, we'll talk to them about what we think is best. And we're telling them what to do instead of two things. Instead of asking them in a process what their goals are and what's important to them. Frank, Carl, what we find is everybody assumes, hey, the lowest rate matters the most, instead of really uncovering what's important to them. Is it cash to close? Is it a lower monthly payment? How long are they going to stay in the home? And so through a loan consultation and walking them through a clear process, we're able to really ask for commitment at the end. And I think what we do, Frank, you and I talked about this probably 30 days ago. It's like, I just got a contract. I think I'm still working with them. I hope I am. It's like, I don't know. I didn't get commitment. And so what I do in this master class is really walk through a very simple process, something we call the same way every time. And it is walking through what's most important. How much home can I buy? How much is it going to cost me per month? And what does it take to actually purchase a home as far as cash? And then walking them through a clear next step and asking for commitment. So let's see here. I would love to hear have you any of you lost to a rate shopper or lost a deal lately?
Well, we got Chauncey saying he's winning deals using your
Hey,
scripts.
let's be honest. Who hasn't?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chauncey says, I just won a deal from a rate shopper on Friday last week, and use Steve Kyle scripts.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what I found was interesting? When we were developing the loan consultation and the script that really helped us gain 30% more. So out of 10 buyers, here's what was happening. Out of 10 buyers, 6, if you got a process, will stay with you. And I'll tell you why. In the behavioral style, the DISC profile, what you'll uncover is about 60, and some of the reports are as much as 70% of people are a high S. And the reality is this: a high S is what we call a steady, a stable. All they want, Frank, they just want to be led well. And if you'll call them when you say you'll call them. When you follow up and do what you say you're going to do, and you don't create a lot of chaos, guess what? Most of those people, they'll stay. But what we found was 40%, 4 out of 10, you would get somewhere through the process after having invested time, energy, and money. Heck, even a credit report, y'all, $150 for a credit report. So it's like you got all of this investment, and we would not lose, but 4 out of 10 would shop us. And we got to a place where we were able to keep over 90% of them. So in the beginning, we were probably losing about 60%. And it was literally by just asking a really cool question. But you know what we found? People didn't know when you worked nights, when you worked weekends, when you worked during the day, there were things we found out. They didn't know that you weren't compensated, Frank. They think that I'm a loan officer over at Chase Bank and that I'm
Yeah.
getting paid every time I touch a file. They didn't know that working with you gave them a local competitive advantage. They didn't know that the lender they chose would really determine whether or not that listing agent would be excited to take the offer or not, because they know your reputation locally. So what I do in the master class is I really just uncover not only the process, but some of the things that we know will help you have the competitive advantage. And when you ask for commitment, what's really cool is now I can see if they're a rate shopper. And then we can even give you the scripts on rate shopping, which I think is important. You know, what do they say? Hey, your rate sounds high. How do you overcome it? When they say, my agent gave me 3 other lenders to talk to, how do you overcome it? And those are some of the tools we'll walk through in the master class, and then also can give you in the membership. So.
Well, cool, man. Cool.
We got any
Yeah.
questions, or I'd love to hear some of the challenges people are having with that.
Well, we had one person say that they got beat by a larger bank, and then this is Norbin, and then he said, "Hey, well, let me see the LE to see
Yeah.
if I can compete." But they never shared it. What do you think? By that point, it's just a little too late, huh?
Yeah, I got to tell you this: when you're faced with fee for fee, I will tell you this. I saw one the other day. The guy was celebrating. Oh, I got 5.99. It was an FHA with a 634 credit score, and I said, hey, send it over. And it was one of the largest online lenders in the country. And you know what was interesting?
What?
It was a $225,000 purchase. They were charging him 8,500 in points to get 5.99. And I think that's pretty common. And he thought he had a great deal because he got the rate. So I think when that happens, you get the opportunity to help them understand you're really paying so much money up front. Would you be open to looking at saving some of that cash? And he has about $85,000 in credit card debt. So just showing him a different structure, you can win the deal. But if it's, hey, I've already applied, here's what I've got. I've talked to you, I've talked to them. Now you got to beat it. That's a rat race and it's hard to win. What I would tell you in that, do your best, crawl. But what's even better is if you can get them ahead of time and in your loan consultation, look, if you go through sales price, monthly payment, cash to close, answer all questions, and then at the end, you ask them for commitment. Here's the good news: is most people, when you ask for commitment, Frank, they're gonna commit to working with you. And if
Yeah.
not, at least they're gonna tell you, "Hey, listen, I like you, but I feel like I'm gonna have to shop around." And now it's just about asking good questions. Frank, what do you got to shop? What do you feel like you need to shop around for? Oh,
Right.
I need the lowest rate. Well, talk to me about that. You know what happens? We get so afraid of asking a challenging question. Like it's almost there's a fear of, well, look, let me help everybody out. Most people are going to talk rate. So we have to be comfortable in it, but being okay with just saying, Frank, cool, you're looking for the lowest rate. How do you like ask really thoughtful questions like, okay, Frank, quick question. How do you know you'll find the lowest rate?
Mm.
You start helping them
Yeah.
uncover, yeah, well, surely I'll find the lowest rate. Well, are you open
How?
to my,
Yeah.
and there's some things like, are you open to my professional feedback? Well, of course he is.
Mm.
He's on a call with you. Hey, are you aware that the lowest rate typically has the highest cost?
Mm.
Hey, talk to me about your plans. You said you plan to live there for 2 years. If I can show you that your break even's actually 7 or 8 years, are you open to a different conversation? So it's in that loan consultation, I can at least decipher, are you a rate shopper? Are you not? And then be able to ask questions to understand where they fall. And here's the real power of the loan consultation. What it's really doing for you as a loan officer is it's helping you decide that today I stop working for free. You don't
Mm.
commit, it's okay. It just means I get the opportunity to move on. And then look, go shop. When you find the best, send it to me. I'll tell you either that's the best I've ever seen, or I might be able to do better, but at least I'm not going to help them win the deal. Call the listing agent. How many of
Right.
us have updated options 22
Oh
times
yeah.
to find out we get the contract and now they're going with a big box bank for an eighth lower? It's like you called me on a weekend because they wouldn't do that. Don't use me.
I like it
And
because
it's
you're
how to
not.
do that in a cool way.
Yeah, you in a cool way. You're not only positioning yourself with the scripts that you have and the way that you approach it, Steve. You're positioning yourself to, have a far better chance of securing the deal and getting the commitment. But you're also positioning yourself as to not waste time, right? With somebody who's just going to waste your time anyway.
Right.
And so you don't have to exhaust your team, exhaust your energies, that kind of a thing. One of my favorite ones that you have is when someone says, "Well, the rate's just too high." And your response is always, "Really, based on what?"
Right.
What a great way to answer. Based on what?
Yeah.
And again, they might have an answer, right? They may have an answer for that, but at least you can start to uncover it and go further down the scripting path with
100%.
them to make them have the revelation that, oh, well, maybe it's not too high. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, or
Hey, and
maybe
Frank,
I am
that's
just swinging in the wind.
That's exactly what you want to do. Like when you just said based on what, like here's what the typical response is, everybody. Well, I was looking online.
Yeah.
And look, the how do I overcome an objection is now I just need to, it's like I just got to keep walking them through the next door. It's like when you walk into a double, like a mall and there's one door, I got to get them through the next door, and then there's a next door, the next door. And listen, I won't win them all, but you know what you will stop doing? Wasting your time.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. Do you want to be bitter or better? Bitterness comes from doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it's like you lose to a rate shopper. The agent has referred you and two other lenders. You're losing deals. And I go down this dark hole of everybody's like that. They always treat me like that. Agents always. And anytime you hear things like always, that means like there's something you got to go back and fix, because not all agents will operate that way. Not all clients are unloyal. What we've got to do is just in a real cool way, walk them through clarity, which is a process in the loan consultation, ask for commitment. And when they don't commit, just Frank, be cool with saying, hey, that rate sounds high based on what? Well, I was looking and I saw a lower rate. Well, where were you looking? I was looking online. So here's another way to walk them through the door. Frank, did you complete the loan application and do a full loan consultation with the company? Well, no, they didn't. So what do I say after that? Well, Frank, that sounds like a gimmick. Are you looking for a gimmick or a real mortgage plan? And so and some of them will say, yeah, but it's still lower. Awesome. I won't get that guy or girl. But the one who says, well, what do you mean a gimmick? Well, a gimmick is an advertised rate where most people don't qualify. You said you only had 5% down. That's being advertised at 25% down. You said you had $15,000 cash to close. That's with 2.5 points. Are you open if I show you a better way and help you understand that lowest rate in your circumstance isn't the best option? And listen, half are going to say, no, I want the lowest rate. Awesome. When you get that, send it to me and I'll see what I can do. The other half will say, wow, I had no idea. And then when you ask for commitment again, we'll typically commit. And so it's just a real clear process that removes, just the uncertainty. And I think for loan officers, I know for me personally, Carl, what it helped me do was get better, not bitter. I was so tired of losing.
That was a big one for me. It's like, all right, hey, when we lose one, just go get Mo.
Yeah, well, but it's hard when you're looking back and you're saying, oh, they're all like that. And it's always like that.
Yeah. Or if I've only got two of them and I just lost half of my loans for the month.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And that's a problem too.
Hey,
something else you taught me, Steve, is at a certain point, and I don't want to go too much over what you do in your class. I know we're running close on time. But one thing that you taught me too is there's a certain day after I've lost it, there's a certain day that I follow up with them and let them know when I lost it. Hey, Kristen, I'm going to be following up with you on, around this day.
Yeah.
And there's a couple things that should have happened where I can start to throw in that seed of doubt and oftentimes win those back.
That's right.
And so there's a couple
that's
of
powerful. That's a big one.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a sneaky trick. I'd say it's an informed strategy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hey, thanks for enjoying this Loan Officer Breakfast Club YouTube video. If you are into industry news, if you like to keep up with what's going on within the mortgage and real estate industry, you might not be aware of this, but you can get free news snippets every single day by going to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. In the top nav bar, you'll see in the news. Click it, daily, fresh news about the mortgage and real estate industry. There's even loan officer perspective and realtor perspective on each news story that you can make use of in your marketing. So enjoy loanofficerbreakfastclub.com/in the news.
Yeah. Hey, drop in the masterclass Wednesday, but I'll also say this. Some of you who say, hey, I want some help with this right now. Kristen has some time on the calendar. We'd love to show you inside the membership because Carl and myself and Chris and Frank, we've put together some really good processes to help you with it. And you know what? I don't think we realize how expensive losing to rate shoppers is. Every 10 loans, if you're losing four, and somebody may say, well, I'm not losing that many. You'd be surprised. I bet if you actually track the numbers, I know for me, I was like, well, I thought I was pretty good, but it was 4 out of 10 were actively shopping, and until I put this in place, I was losing a lot of them. But Carl, just think about this: the average commission $3,000 to $5,000, and let's say you lose three, and let's say it's just 3,000. That's a $9,000 to $15,000 a month problem that one process and one script can help you not solve, but at least convert more of what you've already got. So, all right, what you got?
Well, hey, before we move on, so I just want to make sure people are clear. So there is a link in the chat. It's Steve's with an S on the end, but no apostrophe. Steve'sMasterclass.com. That's for the 20th. That's this week, right? That is popping up. That's Wednesday, right, Steve? Right. So, but Steve, is that open to anybody?
Open. It's free. Yeah.
Okay. It's just free, open. So, okay. So Steve'sMasterclass.com. If you've ever struggled with rate shoppers, this is the class to go to for free 99, as Kristen likes to say.
Free 99.
Free 99. Okay. So it's Steve'sMasterclass.com. What time is that at, Steve?
Oh, good question.
Whatever time is up on Steve'sMasterclass.com, whatever time pops up, that's the time.
Noon. Sounds like it's noon Eastern.
Yep.
Okay, noon Eastern. There you go. All right, but then also we do have freedomplanningcall.com in the chat as well. That's if you just want to get going right away. Like you don't want to wait for that. You want to get not only what Steve's going to be teaching, but everything else that's offered. Check out freedomplanningcall.com. So I just want to make sure that those links are there, square.
Hey, and because I do want to be clear, like in the masterclass, for many of the people who, especially who aren't members, this is just a taste of what we've created for each one of you to win, and this is one of the areas to win. And so, yeah, we'd love for you to consider not only the masterclass, but the membership is so valuable, man. So, all right, Krista, what do you got?
Hey, just real quick for I'm not sure if the email went out. So for Call Stars today, we're meeting 15 minutes early, both in the morning and then again in the afternoon.
Okay.
Again, we're going just like we did last week. We went over the data success plan in front of the calls. We're doing the same thing, just a shortened version of it. So 15 minutes before normal time. So 9:15 Eastern time. But whatever time you normally sign on, we'll be there 15 minutes early, just kind of a Q&A, just kind of a refresher again. So, all right, thanks, Frank.
You bet. Awesome. We got two hands up. Krista, go.
Just a quick point. I had somebody that was using TikTok, and so they were shopping with me, and really quick contract, got in there, was doing all the things right. She seemed like she loved me. Got all the way to the closing table, and it was a weird twist of things because she had a big following on TikTok, about 45,000, 50,000 people because of what she did. And she actually said that the only reason why she stayed with me was because the second she went on TikTok and said, hey, I have this mortgage lender and they're doing this and she's really helping me out. Should I get some other quotes? She actually said that she got numerous things, but all the loan officers on TikTok said, if your lender's taking care of you, stay with them. I had no idea up until closing that she was even thinking that she needed to do something different.
Wow.
I was giving her a great rate, like really good, like not charging a lot. And I mean, I got her closed in like 3 weeks. She didn't even think she was ready to buy. And then all of a sudden she found the perfect house. Now, granted, she's been looking for 2 years. So she knew she really was ready, just didn't know it. But it's an interesting thing that type of, that's where the clientele is and where their mindset is, right? So and I had multiple since that this year in general, the new buyers that are out there, that's where they're going. They're going to TikTok, going all these different things that they're getting all of this information and they think they know what they're doing, but they actually don't. So it's very tricky on how to navigate that, in my opinion. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced that with some clients, but I mean, it's happened a handful of times already this year.
Good one. Yeah. Interesting. Well, and thank goodness for the other loan officers to support the loan officer community out there. That was nice.
Yeah.
And then I like what Rudy says too. Speed to close eliminates shopping. It really does. The faster you get to the finish line, the better. The faster you're in a position to say we're ready to close, the better. Chance.
Hey, and I will tell you this too. I'm a big proponent. Just be careful to where not everybody's shopping. It's easy to feel like, man, everybody's shopping. What's happening is we don't know because we're not asking. When you ask for commitment, and Carl taught me this. You'll hear things like, man, everybody's shopping and everybody's doing this. Well, when you track the data, it's amazing. I'm telling you, and I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, 6 or so, they just don't shop. Matter of fact, most of them don't even ask for the interest rate. Why? It's not the most important thing. It's how much home can I buy? How much is it going to cost me per month? And how much money do I need? It's not the most important thing unless we make it the most important thing. But what happens is if we don't ask for commitment, it's that I hope. But when you do ask for commitment, you'll realize most people want to commit if you just do what you say you're going to do. And the ones who say, well, hey, I was thinking of shopping around. Well, hey, listen, that's totally cool. What we don't do is we get nervous about just asking, hey, why do you think shopping around is important? And just having a real conversation, because we make it weird, Frank. It's like, I don't want to ask you why you think you need to shop around, but if you do, you'll bring clarity. So I just want to encourage everybody, ask for commitment. At least you'll know where you stand. And then with the ones that are kind of flip-flopping, you know what? You'll win some of them, you'll lose some of them, but that's okay. Do what Carl said. We go get more. So.
Yeah, and we had Chauncey, but I do want to address Drew's point. He says, hey, it's important not to introduce the idea of shopping, and if you follow Steve's path, though, it doesn't get introduced. He just goes down the path and then asks him, based on everything that we've gone over, is there anything that would hinder me from being your loan officer? So,
Right.
So that's where he's not saying you're going to go shopping, or are you planning on going shopping? That's not in the.
No,
if you were thinking that, Drew, that's not where it is. Yeah. So Chauncey, what do you got? And we get out of here.
Yeah. Hey,
you're still here.
Steve, I want to first thank Steve. I took his class. Oh my God, it's been longer than I thought. Almost a year that I took it with the 5-step process for the loan consultation.
Yeah.
I'm telling you all right now, I was originally around about 65, 66% close rate. Now I'm over 90. I have not lost a deal since that time period, unless it was a credit union that had this great program. I can't compete with that, right? But I have not lost a loan since that time period. It's been almost a year. So, Steve, thank you for that. The close is great. I did the close this past Friday. I know you'll talk about it on your webinar coming up, but it worked. I let them know that, hey, I can't continue moving forward because my team does not get compensated. And I know you're going to do the rest of it. And it worked. And I saw him, we was on Zoom, and I saw him swallow spit. Because I told him I was stopping. Like, I can't move forward. And it put him he thought he was putting me in the corner, but it was actually in reverse. Like, hey, I did all these things for you so far, but I cannot continue to do that moving forward. If you choose another lender, I wish you the best, but if anything pops up, you'd like me to compare it, I will do that. And what he did was he immediately showed me, and I showed him exactly where the difference was. You should be closing in about 8 days. Because I'm going to do it fast, just like Mr. Rudy just said.
Yeah.
But it works out great. But I will tell you all this, the beginning and the end is the biggest parts for me. The beginnings, the consultation, you're looking at the entirety of the client, okay? You're not just, if you go into it thinking about rate, you're going to be talking rate. Look at them as a human being, because we are human beings. Take care of them. Look at the totality of it. Should they pay off some debt? Should they do this? Not about, I have to put 20% down. Well, maybe in your case, if I was you, I will put down 7%. This other, I will get rid of this consumer debt that you have over here. And this is the reason why. When you build it based off of that person and their family and how they're moving forward, it usually works out. It usually works out because they know that you're actually there for them. And then it removes the rate thing out of their brain. Like, the lowest rate. They're like, no. Krista took care of me. David took care of me. Robert took care of me. They looking at it in that aspect of it, and the loan it goes very, very smoothly to closing. So take Steve's class. It's free. Take it. It works. Please do it. I guarantee you, it works. It works.
It's just our gift, man. All right, guys.
All right, man. Well, good stuff. We'll be back here tomorrow, and we'll go over some other stuff. Carl, he's positioned and ready to go.
I'm ready.
Defy.
Okay,
Ready.
Hey, I'm ready. Ready? Go. 1,
1, 2, 3. That only makes sense.
All right. You guys are great, man. Thanks for joining us here as always on Loan Officer Breakfast Club. We'll be here again tomorrow to do it all over again. Your free coaching pleasure every Monday through Friday. Hope to see you there. All right, guys, have a great day. Adios.
Have a good day.
Have an amazing day, everybody.